Have you ever wondered what investors earn from their property portfolios every month? Now, you might accuse me of starting some beef here, but as a new investor just a few years ago, I always wondered what property portfolio owners earned from their portfolios every month, yet no one seems to share it. So once again, to break the mold of YouTube, I'm going to come on here as a small portfolio owner with just 4 buy-to-lets right now, and I'm going to share with you what my portfolio earns me each and every month. So as you can now see, I am sharing my screen. The sheet is called the portfolio review sheet. I do actually do a review for my own portfolio every 6 to 12 months. This is on a more detailed sheet, but for the purpose of this video, I've simplified it a little bit just so that we can move through this at a bit of a quicker pace. So along the top, you can actually see the years, the dates that I bought these properties. As you can see, I started buying investment properties back in 2019. I bought that first buy-to-let number 1. Since then, I've gone on to buy, a bungalow, which was going to be a flip, but has turned into kind of like a house, a home that I'm living in due to the fact that I left my job. So let's face it, for the foreseeable future, going to be living there. We've done all the renovation works to it, so in the future, if we do want to sell it for a profit or refinance it, we can. I'll be doing an update video on that soon. Buy-to-let number 2, I also bought in 2021. And then this year I've gone on to buy 2 further properties, which I haven't fully shared yet on the channel, but I'm going to share some of the numbers of those with you today. And if I start by dragging this down here, just so you can see exactly when I bought those properties and exactly the purchase prices. So buy-to-let number 1, 58,000, as you might have seen from previous videos, now is estimated in the region of about £85,000. I did actually have a valuation on that a little while ago to confirm it. The end value of the bungalow I'm uncertain of yet. We've just finished the extension, haven't yet had a valuation on it, but I'll keep you posted on that. Buy-to-let number 2, bought that at £50,000, did the refurbishment, actually refinanced it at £80,000, but that is definitely now sitting in the region of like £85,000 to £90,000, I would say, if I was to refinance tomorrow, which obviously I'm not going to be doing. Buy-to-let number 3, which was purchased in June this year, was purchased for £54,000. I've just finished the refurbishment. We're about to go for the refinance, and I'm estimating about £90,000. I actually think it's worth more like £95,000 or £100,000 based on others that have recently sold on the street. But being conservative and knowing what's going on in the economy, we're saying £90,000. And then another property that I purchased in June this year, which I haven't yet shared with the channel, I purchased for £65,100. It's a 3-bedroom property with a huge potential end value, but I'm not actually keeping that one. Whilst it was purchased as a BRR, or I had that in mind, I have now decided to sell it. I've agreed to sell it to someone else, which is currently going through because I'm going to be using the funds from that to purchase another bigger, more exciting project that I have lined up and I have found. So moving down the spreadsheet, I'm just going to share with you kind of the rental figures for these. So as you can see, buy-to-let 1 earns 6,300, which is 525 per month. Buy-to-let number 2, 6,900, which is 575 per month. And then buy-to-let 3, £7,500. Just agreed a tenant who's moving into that one at 625. Now, once we actually start to look at the costs of that, of course, which vary on each property and will vary monthly, we're just looking at the basic costs here. This isn't including potential maintenance that could come up. So if we start by looking at the managing agent costs, as you can see with this first property, buy-to-let number 1, pay £76. That actually works out as about 12%. The other 2 are 10%. Obviously, that's plus VAT. And what actually happens here is the rent comes in from the tenant to the managing agent. They receive the rent, they then deduct their managing agent costs, and then they transfer me the remaining balance. So in this example, net rental income paid into the account is exactly that. It's the rent minus the managing agent costs, which is why this cost line is marked in green, because this is money that's coming into my bank account. From there, I'm able to then easily establish the expenses. They really are just the monthly mortgage interest payment, which is going out to the bank. With buy-to-let number 1, that's been super consistent. It's like £149.50 or something, so it's just been rounded up there to 150. Buy-to-let number 2, very similar, just calculated as about £154 per month. And then this new one, which is currently sitting without a mortgage, unencumbered, is having a mortgage put onto it very shortly as it gets refinanced. Due to the increase in interest rates, we're looking at about 4% on that one now, which is why the monthly interest cost is slightly higher there. Insurance costs, as you can see them, they look a little bit high, but that's because they're all 10-month installments. They're not over 12 months, they are 10-month installments. So now we can actually see what cash flow these properties are actually producing. So it goes without saying that if you are looking to quite quickly build up thousands of pounds worth of cash flow per month, then you are probably better to think about other strategies rather than and not single lets. So other strategies might be, HMOs, might be doing the service accommodation strategy. You might even look at things like rent to rent or sourcing as a more cash flow heavy strategies, whereas buy to let is more the long term. It's thinking long term, building up properties, building a portfolio and building long term wealth. So heading back into the spreadsheet to take this one step further, because I know some of you love to see the tax. We now know what the profit is. As you can see from the cash flow here, we can see what these properties profit per month. That means we can now calculate the tax. Now, these properties are all owned within a limited company, and therefore we know that limited company tax is calculated as 19% on your profits. So as you can see from this line here, I've calculated the tax for each of those properties per month, which means we can then deduct that, giving us our net profit per month, meaning we net profit about £730 per month, and our net profit per annum is £8,764. So there you have it. That's my portfolio. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments in the comment section below. Don't go too harsh. I'm only a new investor, started a few years ago, and this is just the start of my portfolio. I'm looking to definitely rapidly grow this portfolio over the next decade. I say rapidly, over the next decade, so quite slowly really. I'm looking to grow this portfolio and build long-term wealth from property. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.